Welcome in, everybody. We got one more week here of the Sexiest Men Alive podcast. I'm Nate Wallace hosting. We got Derek Hayes, we got Wyatt Smith, we got Carlos Jones joining in as usual. Welcome in. Hey, thanks again for all you subscribers out there, the ones that are listening in, the ones that are texting, telling us that you love the podcast. We're doing this for you guys, and we're having a great time. If you guys are not subscribed to our YouTube channel, know that we are on rss.com podcast. We're on Spotify. We're on Google Podcasts. And if I can ever get through this freaking firewall at Apple, we're going to be on Apple Podcasts too. Because we know a lot of you guys are on the Apple Podcast too. So anyways, but really a pretty fun week of football. Some great games. A lot to talk about today. But let's get started with one of the biggest pieces of news that our boy Odell Beckham Jr. Looks like he's getting waived. Did he clear waivers, by the way? Does anybody know that?
He cleared waivers.
Okay. And with it, before I sound like a moron over here, there's a waiver claim, like a list, right?
Mm-hmm.
And who is at the top again? Some horrible team, right? Was it Jacksonville?
Yeah, I think it goes worst to first type of thing. I don't know.
Okay. But I just wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about who should claim him, where you'd like to see him go, and maybe some of your reactions just to the overall dropping or waiving of him and some of the things he said after that. But Wyatt, just off the top of your head, is there anybody in particular you'd like to see OBJ go to?
Baltimore. I know he's not going to make it there, but it'd be fun. They're my favorite AFC team. Them and the Colts. They and the Colts this year. They the Colts.
Well, yeah, Lamar's looking really good too. I mean, he's spreading it around a bit right now too. So I'm actually shocked that Hollywood Brown is still being this effective this deep into the season.
Looks like he's going to be an actual NFL receiver instead of just
I didn't believe it the first 2 years. I mean, he had sparks, he had moments, but he looks really, really solid. What about you, Carlos? Who do you like?
I would love to see him come to the Raiders. I don't know if you guys watched the Raider game, but you could tell not having Henry Ruggs and that deep threat really simplified that offense. And I would love to see him with the Raiders. And I don't want to see him with Kansas City as well. So I think the Raiders need him. But with all the turmoil and hell my Raiders are going through, I don't know. Who knows?
Yeah, it's rough. What is going on with that?
Another disgruntled force in the building. So,
that's
I love
two. So they had two 2020 first round picks, and both of them are off the team now with Ruggs and Arnett now, right?
Yeah. It's crazy.
What did Arnett do? I saw he was threatening somebody public, threatening their life.
Didn't he brandish a gun?
Yeah.
Shut up. He did what?
Yeah. So Arnett from Ohio State, their second first round pick last year. I guess there was some internet beef, and he comes out, brandishes a firearm, and starts threatening the person's life who was making comments online and like, give me a freaking break. And so, of course, they had to waive him. Like Mike Mayock came out and said, that's not our culture. That's not who we are. This is terrible.
Yeah, but it is their culture. But it is their culture. It is the Raiders culture, damn it.
And that's the funny thing. This kid had so many red flags already. It was not like it's not like Larry Fitzgerald came out and said, I'm gonna kill you, motherfucker.
Right.
This dude had a history, so it's not like you could be that surprised, but that is a mess.
That is the Raiders culture. I'll stand by that, damn it.
Sad.
Shut up.
Jones, take that. Take it. Suck on that,
Back
Jones.
to Odell.
But yeah, but hold on though. So but OBJ said that if he got picked up by a team that wasn't on his, approved list, that he was going to cause problems. I mean, that's a terrible red flag.
Yeah. But the NFL, if your talent is good enough, red flags don't matter.
I'm not saying.
So. I think.
Go ahead.
I like these guys taking control of their destiny. Like, I think it's horrible when you are stuck in a situation that you don't want to be in, and you're wasting your primetime years and even your contract, because you're in a bad situation. You're not producing. Your contract's up. Nobody's going to pay you what you want. And the NFL gets paid the worst anyway, right? So I don't have a problem with these guys forcing their way out of situations that don't work for them and going to play where they want to play.
Jones, I 100% agree with you. 100%. It's the only sport. You have guaranteed contracts in every other major sport. But the NFL, their contracts are like 100 pages thick because there's all these weird little things that have to work out with bonuses and stuff like that. Sure. It's stupid. So you're exactly right. The only power the player has in the NFL is to say, I don't want to be here, and to hold out. So you won't see a holdout in the NBA for the most part. Very, very rare. Harden kind of forced his way out. You see that from time to time, but you just don't. You don't get the opportunity for players to control their destiny in the NFL very often. So they have one move to be a pain in the ass.
Yeah, unfortunately, they don't manage their money enough to really, see it through, because eventually they run out of dough because they're idiots and they got to go back to work. But I mean, it's
Is that what happened to you, Jones?
Yeah. Well, when white women come calling, all of a sudden you just fall to the smells, it's just the black man's kryptonite. You know what I mean?
I do love white women.
They are. Jesus Christ.
They do be shopping though.
They do be shopping.
I don't get why the Browns didn't trade him.
I love you, honey.
I know they're not going to get value, but why cut him? Why not trade him? Because they can't.
I don't know. I don't know if he had a no trade clause or something in there, or I'm not sure what it is. I think there's a couple teams. Jones, you're not going to like one of them, but I think the Seahawks. There's some rumors around that. That would make sense for the Seahawks, but I don't know if that makes a lot of sense for Odell, because now he can sign wherever he wants, right?
But he said the Seahawks are one of his teams. The Seahawks and the 49ers, what I heard.
Oh, 49ers too. And then the other one, the Chiefs, they're not going to fix that defense midseason. So that makes a lot of sense too from the Chiefs' perspective. And I think he'd probably like to go. He has a lot of ties to Louisiana, New Orleans, and I think he's stated publicly that he'd like to go to the Saints, but without my guy Jameis there, who's going to throw him the ball?
Trevor Siemian, bro.
Trevor Siemian. He might end up there because he wants to go back to New Orleans. I know he likes New Orleans, but I just don't know if he's going to like that situation.
Well, Brown sure didn't need him.
He's got a house.
Clearly, it's crazy. Broncos whoop ass after trading Von Miller, and they get rid of Odell, and Cleveland.
Yeah, what in the heck was that all about this week? I mean, these guys, these teams that you figured would have these huge letdowns. Gruden gets gassed. Raiders come in and just absolutely handle business, right?
Buffalo
Odell gets moved on, and Cleveland puts a 40 burger up on the freaking Bengals, who we were making out with in the mouth 2 weeks ago.
Well, I'm not surprised. When Odell got hurt, Cleveland went on their run last year, and this is what they did. We're not having that. That whole offense is just about the system, right? They allow the defense to dictate who that number one receiver is going to be on any particular route, versus just trying to force Jarvis the ball or whoever. And it just works better when you don't have that pressure of trying to force someone the ball. It's almost like when the 49ers are all healthy, you don't know where it's coming from, but before you know it, Mostert or whatever would have a big run or whoever, and all of a sudden, there's 30 points on the board and you don't know where it's coming from. Where these, more traditional offenses, your star receiver is going to have, 10 or 12 targets, so you can roll your coverage that way or whatever. But Odell in Seattle is scary because you have Odell on the outside. You've got DK Metcalf on the outside. You push Lockett into the slot.
Lockett would go slot. Yep.
And they go crazy. Plus,
and I heard something.
Go ahead.
Oh, I heard something earlier about Seattle saying, well, he wants to run the ball. Carroll loves running the ball. But if you love running the ball, a great way to run the ball is have no stacked box.
Yeah.
So you put Odell there, they're never going to see a tight box.
One-on-one coverage between DK and Odell would be scary.
Yeah, and you don't want to see Russell. You know in this offseason, you don't want these rumors of him not being healthy, so or not being happy. So you give him Odell another weapon.
Yeah, keep him in Seattle.
Yeah, I'm sure that keeps him happy.
Well, speaking of that, Green Bay. If he goes to Green Bay, does that make Aaron happy enough to stick around and be fully immunized?
Well, I don't know because Devontae is his number one, right? They already got that chemistry.
Of course.
So
Joe Rogan texted him. He's fine. He doesn't need the shot. Browns, huh? Cincy?
Are we going
Who
there?
else lost?
Do you guys want to go there about the Aaron Rodgers thing? What's your take?
Let's go.
What's your take on this?
Me?
Yeah.
I think he lied. I think he knows he lied. He said, I love his quote today. I may have misled people regarding my status. And regardless of what you believe personally about it, fact is he did lie flat out. There's really no debate about it in my mind. I just don't know what the NFL's. I did find it funny. Somebody posted something to me today saying that Jerry Jeudy is getting fined just north of $12,000 for his bow and arrow celebration.
Yeah, he does the Jamal Murray
Aaron Rodgers, and Aaron Rodgers is getting fined just 16, about $14,000 for the whole COVID fiasco. I just think it's silly, the priorities.
Who sets these fines? I mean, it doesn't make sense.
It's Carlos.
Carlos, damn it, Carlos!
I can't help myself.
What are you watching, Carlos? What are you watching this week?
Portland
I can see it in his glasses.
Clippers.
Again,
Dame's on TV, man. I love Dame. Dame must see TV.
You know what time it is.
All right, here we go. Let's talk about a couple of things. So, streaming. Available quarterbacks in your league. Just we'll do a little fantasy corner here. Available quarterbacks. Wyatt, of these four, you got Ben Roethlisberger, Teddy Bridgewater, Mac Jones, Justin Fields. Of those four, if you had to stream a guy, who do you like?
I know that Judy's healthy and the Broncos just beat the best team in football, bar none. So I would take Bridgewater just because, I don't know, it's neat. He wears two gloves. He's got Tim Patrick. Tim Patrick, is that his name?
Yeah.
Playing awesome. Jerry Judy's back.
Beast.
Tim Patrick hasn't dropped a pass in 2 seasons now.
What?
Yeah, that's like 130 targets so far in the last 2 seasons. Has not dropped a ball.
So I don't understand this stat at all. There's no way he's 6 for 6 and 7 or 8 for targets. Like is he ever overthrown or like a catchable ball?
Correct. Of what they deem a catchable ball, he has not dropped it.
Yeah, I mean, I saw that stat last week, and I was going to ask you about that. It just made no sense to me. It's like, targets? There's no way it could be targets.
Yeah, it's not that he's caught every target, but he's caught every catchable target.
Yeah, unbelievable. Jones, of those four, Big Ben, Teddy B, Mac Jones, Justin Fields, who you like?
Well, I like what I've been seeing out of Justin Fields the last couple of weeks. Looks like they've finally actually figured out how to use him. And if that is even what we saw last couple of weeks, if that's the blueprint going forward,
give me that guy.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
He's off this week, unfortunately.
Yeah, no, true.
Right, as they're getting rolling, but that's a guy. If he's available and you need somebody because your quarterback's gone down or some other issue, that guy's he's gonna be really good, fantasy wise for sure.
So is that your pick out of those four too, Derek?
Yeah.
Okay. He reminds me of Deshaun Watson, that type of versatility and the way his game kind of looks. I can't wait to have Deshaun back, and I love that guy.
I will fade Justin Fields. I still haven't seen enough. He had a really, really nice throw to Mooney in the corner, of the pylon of the end zone.
I can't do this.
What?
You're a Taylor Heineke guy.
Hey,
shut up.
Hey,
he's a playmaker.
I have an opinion too. I won 2 fantasy football titles last year. Give me some respect,
Your opinion is stupid.
2 out of 3, not 2 out of 3 ain't bad. 2 out of 3 ain't bad.
Justin. Your opinion is stupid. Justin
Yeah,
Fields.
you were playing in the MAC.
Right.
Your competition wasn't anything.
Sorry, all the guys that I play with that are listening to this.
Hey,
Don't listen to
listen
them.
to Derek.
Oh, don't worry. They know.
Don't listen to
They
them.
know.
You guys are dumb.
If they let you win.
Yes.
I actually hate
They
all
know.
4 of these guys, and I don't want any of them. Friggin' hate them.
You want Taylor Heineke.
I'll take Taylor Heineke. Done.
Yeah, you take him.
Sold.
Take him right up your ass.
Well, I will not. I resent
Speaking
that.
of
Like
Roethlisberger,
that little hemorrhoid.
Speaking of Roethlisberger.
I do hate the Steelers. That's why I'm biased.
Ugh.
I really don't like
Always
them.
been a closet Steeler fan.
Not that he's being streamed, but holy cow, Connor, how many touchdowns? 12 already.
11.
He's on Arizona now. Fresh start.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that game in a sec. So running backs, here's what we got. Josh Howard
this week or
no, just like moving forward. Like if you just
forward.
pick one up, hey, listen, I got a guy out, 2 guys out. I got to play somebody up. But here's what you got. So waiver wire guys: Josh Howard, Adrian Peterson, Jamal Williams, Nyheim Hines, or Devontae Freeman. So Josh Howard, AP, Jamal Williams, Nyheim Hines, or Devontae Freeman. Let's start with you, Derek. Who you like?
Howard.
Okay.
Howard. Okay. I think he's the best pure running back on that team. He's not going to do much in the passing game, but Gainwell has been really disappointing as a rookie. And Sanders cannot stay healthy. We were talking, why don't they give Sanders more volume? Clearly it's because he'll get hurt if he gets more than 4 carries. So it's I think it's Howard for me. They've really started to recommit to the run, and if that continues, he could be valuable.
Good.
Is that Jordan Howard?
Jordan Howard.
About?
Yeah, Jordan Howard. And
that's a name I haven't heard.
No. It's the ghost of Jordan
the resurrection.
Howard, right? It's the ghost of Stonewall Jackson.
Eagle? He's an Eagle?
Yeah, he is.
So
last week he went 12 for 57 with 2 touchdowns. And this week he goes 17 for 71 and a touchdown. So he definitely has had 2 back-to-back good weeks. So that's
17, 13. He's also to become a permanent part of the offense, a coach is quoted as saying.
Let's go.
Carlos, who you like of those guys there?
You give me my brother Nyheim Hines.
The Colts are on fire.
That team is about to go on a run. I feel he's explosive as hell.
He is.
I just like the game breakers. I love him. I love his game. That's.
Yeah, I kind of like his pick, just because, just my opinion. A lot of times when I'm picking streamers, I don't try to pick the guy that's going to be like the most safe bet to get me 60 yards and hopefully a touchdown. I try to pick the guy that's like, hey, who's going to maybe have a game breaker, 80-yard big one that's going to make it. So this is going to like win me this week. Because look, I mean, 6 points are nice and all, but we're all pissed when our running back gives us 6 points, But but Nyheim, I mean, I think he's got the game break ability there on that one. Any other opinions there, Dub? Anybody? Wyatt, you like anybody there?
The Colts are red hot. It's such a fun team to watch. I've got Jonathan Taylor, that 80-yard run. He hit like 21 miles an hour, and he did like the track dive at the touchdown line. That was so cool.
It was cool.
He's gonna get hurt. I mean, he can't keep it up. Hines is the pick. That's who I'd take.
Okay.
I can't say his first name. Nyheim.
Nyheim. Yeah. Devontae. I mean,
Hyman.
Hyman. Yeah.
He's 800-year-old.
He's ready to pop.
7th grade anatomy class coming at you here at the
Nyheim. Yeah, I'll put a star by him.
He is
available.
Hygiene Himes.
Mm-hmm.
Love it.
We're talking about hygiene and Hymens.
I cannot wait to Black History Month. I'm going to be a goddamn demon.
I mean, anytime you want to chime in with your Black History, Carlos, basically half the reason I watch these episodes back is just to listen to you just go off. It's fantastic. I just really love it. Big fan. All right, wide receivers. We've got Brandon Ayuk, Hunter Renfroe, Christian Kirk, T.Y. Hilton, Michael Gallup. Still available in most leagues. Carlos, of those guys there, who do you like? Ayuk, Renfroe, Kirk, Ty, or Gallup?
Kirk, man, I'm strong on these Cardinals. They're just, I think, the best watching football right now when they're on, and when Kyler Murray's playing. Every time I watch a Cardinal game, he does something. He has a player too that, man, that's just an explosive that you didn't see coming. I'm big on Christian Kirk. I've liked him since Texas A&M. He's my guy. I'm all about especially with Hopkins out, it's going to give him a few more targets as well. So I'm huge on anybody on the Cardinals offense right now.
I like that. Dub, who you like on that group there?
I don't like Ayuk just because he's been a bitch all year. He's had 2 good games. Plus, Kittle's back. I'm always biased towards my players and what I have. So I don't want Ayuk to do anything.
Oh, then it's Gallup then, right? I mean,
it's got to be Gallup. He's so big. He's got a cool number. He's got those jerseys, those Cowboys jerseys,
What's the color of the pants again?
Seafoam, Normandy seafoam. Yeah, like World War II, patriotic, courageous seafoam. Silver, I think.
Did you like the red, white, and blue stripes on the helmets this week there, Dub? You didn't like those?
Bad luck.
Ugh.
And for what? It's not like for all the troops. It was for like Medal of Honor recipients or something really specific.
Oh, great. Now we're going to get canceled because you don't like Medal of Honor recipients.
They're overrated. Okay. I'm just kidding.
You heard it here. His name is Wyatt Smith.
Yeah, Wyatt Blakesmith. Don't dog me.
Communist Smith.
No, yeah, Gallup or Kirk. Arizona's on fire. They don't have – is Colt McCoy through?
Yeah, Colt McCoy look good, man.
Oh, jeez.
Doggo.
Hey, friend.
Oh, look at this doggo.
What's going on?
Hey, you two people, we got a doggo sighting right here. Very exciting. What's your dog's name?
That's Cooper. He's hungry. That's why he's loving us.
Is his last name Cup? Actually is that Cooper Cup?
Where's my dog?
My white dog. What? My white dog, Cooper Cup?
Yes.
You're going to love it. We're going to love it. Derek, your pick.
Oh, Jesus.
Ayuk, Renfroe, Kirk, Ty, Gallup.
I like Ayuk. I read something from an interesting San Francisco beat writer.
Yeah, you were telling me about this. I didn't hear about this.
I guess he and Shanahan kind of squashed the issue that was going on with his usage in the offense. I mean, remember, Ayuk was dominant in the second half last year. And he was a first rounder. It's not like he's just a guy. He was a big deal out of Arizona State. And they said that whatever the debate was, they squashed it and figured it out. There's a lot of mouths to feed there. Carlos made that point. Wyatt just said it again with Kittle coming back. But I like the talent of Ayuk, and I think it should rise. I'm not expecting a monster year the rest of the way unless something happens to Debo, which happens from time to time. Ooh. But I do like Ayuk.
Long is pretty incredible.
God, that's a lot of talent in the skill positions there.
Yeah,
Kittle, Debo, and Ayuk.
Stay healthy. Oh man, if Mostert was still healthy, oh gosh.
Yeah, that Elijah Mitchell kid looks pretty good too.
T.Y.
Hilton
looks
great.
Anything all year.
Yeah,
Hilton's
Mitchell
got nothing left.
Yeah, I don't like Hilton.
He's got nothing.
He'll come on for one big catch and then get hurt.
All right,
Hunter Rimfroe. He's
the least exciting
45.
part. Oh yeah, dude. I think Hunter Rimfroe is a solid pick. I mean, I think he's flexible almost every week. I mean, the dude gets 6, 7, 8 targets every single game, and he's always going to be. He's solid. He's solid. I mean, I think he's good for 8 to 12 points every week, man. Every once in a while, he might get you 14 or 15. Tight ends, there's 2 guys, and one of them caught 2 touchdowns. Old Pat Fryermuth out of Pittsburgh, and then one other guy is Dan Arnold, who
I almost picked him up.
Yeah, I mean he led Jacksonville 2 weeks in a row in receiving. He's got 12 catches for 128 yards his last 2 weeks. So I
did not know that.
Yeah, so he's done some work. But I don't know. What do you think, Derek Fryermuth or Dan Arnold?
I'm going to add one other name to this, and this will be my guy. Just after yesterday, Cole Kmet is available in a lot of leagues, and if Fields is developing, which it looks like he is,
barf.
rookie quarterbacks tend to love tight ends because it's shorter. It's in the middle of the field. It's right in front of them. And that's exactly what was going on yesterday. So I'm going to say Komet.
Oh, yeah. You love tight ends too. Wyatt.
I do. That's why Wyatt's my guy.
Mm-hmm. We like Wyatt. Freiermuth or Arnold?
I had Dan Arnold picked up because Kittle was on IR, but so in my league you can only have 2 tight ends, so I had to cut him.
Okay.
And I kept Uzoma of all stupid things. I think I have a Madden bias where, like, if I have a guy in my Madden franchise mode and I get him yards of production, I think he's going to be good. It happened with Chase Claypool and some other players.
It just doesn't translate, does it?
It doesn't, but I hope. And it happened with Devontae Parker on Miami. I'm just like, dude, he's big. He's good. I get him the ball all the time. But Dan Arnold, Jacksonville can't be that bad. And Sunshine's only going to get better the more he's throwing the ball.
Yeah.
It's a good pickup.
Rookie quarterback, right?
But I do like Cole Kmet. I've had him on my eye. And also, who did I write down? Actually, I didn't write anything down this week. That's all I got.
You bastard. All right. Carlos, do you have any input on this situation?
I like Freiermuth just because old white quarterbacks who can't move need to get rid of the ball fast. He's a big body, and his name is Freiermuth.
Mm-hmm.
He already got picked up in my league. Yeah. We have 10 in my league. How many do you guys have?
10, 12, and 12.
10, 12. We're moving to 12 next year. I don't like it.
Ugh. 12.
And then we have like roster restrictions. I'm sure everyone's interested in this.
Oh no,
you can only have like 4 running backs, 4 receivers, 2 tight ends. So you can't just load up. And it makes streaming each week a little more active. It's pretty fun. And then every time we pick up a person, it's $1. So that goes into a pot for like the highest score. It's really fun. I should get into gambling.
I like that rule.
Derek really makes gambling look fun.
Well, Derek and I are going to record something this Thursday, just a little gambling. It's a short little bit on gambling and some DFS stuff and some picks of the week and some same game parlay. So anyone listening to this, we'll do a quick one this Thursday coming out Friday. So let's just talk about a couple of games. Chicago and Pittsburgh went at it. Pittsburgh won 29-27. David Montgomery's back. He rushed 13 times for 63 yards. Carlos, do you drop Khalil Herbert or you keep him? Do you like Khalil Herbert still? You think he's still got some value on that bench, or do you think it's just
no?
You think it's a David Montgomery show from here on out?
If they're smart.
Well, it is Matt Nagy,
which is something there.
Yeah, touche. What do you think, Derek? Any thoughts there?
Yeah, I'm with Jones. If they're smart, then Montgomery's just the better player. But Herbert did look really good in his absence. But
yeah, of those guys filling in, Herbert was my favorite. I even like him better than Elijah Mitchell. I just thought he looked really, really, really solid.
He looks like an NFL running back. You need 2 in this league. It's really rare where you can get away with just one workhorse. So you got to spell those guys. I think that's what they're going to do.
Yeah, obviously this game was kind of marred by this taunting call from this Cassius Marsh kid who just got picked up, onto the active roster. The thing is,
this is what's wrong with America.
The kid comes in. I mean, it's his first, NFL game probably. He does the full-fledged karate kick in the air after he gets the sack, and then he kind of stares down the other side's bench.
From midfield.
It's not you ran over there, yeah. But the thing that was really bothersome was how the ref was kind of reaching back, getting ready to pull the flag, and then he backs into him like the full on he did.
I heard he pulled a Harden. Harden trying to draw a dribble foul.
Yeah, it really was. I heard the kid talk about it.
He created the contact.
Do you know he's been in the league 8 years? I've never seen him.
And never. I mean, has he played?
He's one of those guys. He just got called up from the practice squad. Makes the play of the game to that point.
Yeah.
And the league makes a point of emphasis for taunting, and it's ridiculous. So I hated it. I hate that rule.
Yeah, absolutely. Carlos, any thoughts
These are
on that?
professionals. Hey, Jones,
Well,
other than Wyatt, you're the closest to getting to be a professional. What do you think about taunting and that shit?
I think it's ridiculous. I taunt in every aspect of my life every day, especially with people with bad credit. I think it's retarded. I think it takes away from just everything. I mean, if you can't play sports and talk shit, what's the? I mean, it's ridiculous.
And
it's like
they're
going to BYU. You can't have sex with those wonderful white women there.
Oh.
School.
Now listen. Now we lost half of our subscribers. That's great, Jones.
Well, think
no, but we just picked up a whole other demographic, though.
Every story you hear about Larry Bird or Michael Jordan or Night Train Lane or these football players like Reggie White or Lawrence Taylor. I mean, if you can't say that you want to eat someone's children like Mike Tyson does, then what's the point of competing in sports?
Told Melo his wife and woman tastes like Cheerios. These are things that you can't. This is fantastic. I live for this shit.
Yep.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, my favorite all-time point guard in the NBA is Gary Payton because, I mean, this guy was so fun to watch when he was in Seattle. I mean, this dude just got up underneath the guy's skin and just gave it to him all game, every game, and he was just fun to watch. And I think, I mean, I don't know about you guys, but like, part of the reason my wife was actually talking to me today, why do you like football so much? Why do you like basketball so much? Why do you watch so much sports? I'm like, there's something about it. Like, there's just something about like men getting on the field and trying to destroy one another and trying to humiliate the other guy. There's something so gnarly about that, and I absolutely love it.
And when you destroy them, the ability to stand over them for a second and look at them and say some shit is a God-given right. I think it's in Proverbs. You'd know better than I would.
Yeah, it is.
Page 36. Listen,
it's in the Dead Sea Scrolls, but it's close.
Yeah,
it's close.
Okay.
Yeah,
but you're right, I knew it was something about breaking another man's will. Okay, standing over him. I was beating up this kid at work the other day, and these young jackasses talking shit, right? And Los, you're old and this and that. You know, one of these guys who wear tight ass pants and short. You know what I mean?
Full ankle
exposure. Yeah. So I grabbed this little motherfucker and slammed his ass on a table. Then put my forearm in his throat and threatened to rape him. Right? And just something about looking in his eyes, knowing that I could do it if I wanted to. It made me feel good. You know, it made me feel like an American.
And your team wasn't penalized 15 yards for that.
Right.
Did you see LaMelo Ball? No, Lonzo Ball almost get punched in the face by Joel Embiid celebrating.
Yes.
There's certain things.
Joel Embiid almost ended it was almost a Kermit Washington, Rudy Tomjanovich situation.
Yeah.
It was
a
that
lot
bad.
of people do that big celebrating punch, like turnaround punch thing.
Yep.
Outlaw that, but don't outlaw taunting.
You know what, though? Jones, here's the thing. Carlos, I think we have a problem in this country where not enough people have been punched in the face. So, it's the problem. Like, they don't even think it's a possibility, so people act a fool. Yeah. So, Carlos, I just wanted to give you props and thank you for doing your part to make sure that society is better by letting that kid know that this shit can happen sometimes and you better watch out.
100%.
We'll all treat each other better. We're all very kind to each other because I think at some point we were all punched in the face.
That's what's missing. That's what's missing in society. So everyone's afraid to get their ass whooped. That's why they're carrying guns now and stuff, because they're afraid to get punched in the face, right? But there's just something about going through that, I don't know, it's almost a rite of passage, right? Of having that guy who will fuck you up, and you don't know you can do about it, right? But it makes you, work harder, blah, 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 blah. So this doesn't happen to you. You know what I'm saying? And this little skinny son of a bitch, it felt good. You know what I mean? To just move a man against his will, threaten to rape his asshole, and there's nothing he can do if I chose to take it. I felt like Kobe Bryant in the mountains with the little way.
Kudos to you for not taking it, though. That was
I might take it.
That would have got you 15. That would have got you 15 yards.
It'd be worth the story to tell here on the podcast. I do things for the story to tell. I would have told the story. Yeah, it got me to 15. We lost the game, but
hell, do it this week and talk to us about it next week.
Yeah, let's put that on the docket.
I'll bring a clip.
Fair enough.
No sweating, just clips.
Carlos.
Speaking of somebody almost getting raped, what happened with Jokic and Markeith?
Should we go there right now? I mean, we might as well, right? We're here.
We're talking about that sort of stuff.
I have much to say on this subject, so much to say. But before I say all of the things I'm going to say, your 2 cents. Anybody want to just chime in on what they saw, what they liked, what they didn't like? What did you see?
I really just want to hear you. I think I know what I saw. I saw a bitch freaking check into him because he got upset because he was made a bitch in the game. And then Jokic retaliated because that's what you do. These are men, and you don't do that. And that's not going to – you're not going to get away with that shit.
Oh, yeah.
Especially you're not going to get away just by, like, turning around and walking 4 feet away after a big –
I hate these NBA bullies, especially this era of bullies. Right? The Marquise and what was it,
Marcus and Markeith.
Yeah, they do this shit, right? I mean, he came underneath him. He could have broke a rib or something. Who knows, right? Turns around like what? Like no big deal, right? I'm glad to see. It's almost the 90s. I'm glad to see somebody.
It was nice. You know what I loved? If you I watched it 20 times and watched every one of Morris's teammates. Not one of them reacted like, because sometimes these guys will go at each other and everyone will start to come in and start to act like they're gonna throw punches. Nobody came to his defense. They just kind of stepped in the way because they all saw what happened. What happened.
Hold on one sec, guys. Hold on one sec. My internet connection's jacking up. I don't want to ruin the recording. I'm just going to switch Wi-Fi's real quick, just to make sure that we're okay here. And then we'll keep going. I just don't want to, because everybody was kind of cutting out for a second. I just want to make sure we can be heard. Okay. Can you guys hear me right now? Okay, we're fading. Oh, hang tight. What about now? You guys hear me?
Yeah, now I can see you too.
Okay.
This is what will get us on iTunes. Professionalism like this.
No. That's
sort of production value that makes sense.
Hey, listen.
This shirt is green, everyone. I don't know what's going on.
This production value.
We are nothing if not production.
So sorry to interrupt you, Derek. So you were saying though that you were glad to see it happen, or what were you saying there?
Well, what I was saying, if it didn't get recorded, is that one of the things I loved is that none of his teammates came like to his aid. It's like they didn't get angry about it. They stepped in the way, but they saw what happened. Every single one of them saw Morris do what he did. So when he got checked, they were like just looking at him on the ground, being like, "Yep, that's what happens."
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Well, allegedly they all ganged up in the hallway and were waiting, and all this other dumb stuff. NBA guys, they're the biggest pussies. I hate NBA players. It's safety in numbers, right? It's the herd mentality. Let's everyone get together, then we can talk shit. Jimmy Butler after the fact, right? And after there's 30 people in between them, then he wants to get rowdy.
Of course.
That's why I want to fight every NBA basketball player. I like my chances. I hate them. They're all pussies.
Hey, I'll just throw a couple things out here. So I've got a lot to say, but I don't want to dominate. But here's just a couple things. So
dude.
So number one, someone posted the video from the rear angle, where it's basically from the baseline underneath the basket, and you saw Jokic going down the court. And they posted a slow motion part when Markeith first hit him. Everyone saw him go up into the ribs, right? Yeah. But what I didn't see was he went knee to knee on Jokic. Jokic's knee flexed 6 inches that direction. I mean, he totally speared him with the end of his knee. I mean, and during the Jazz game earlier this year, that was the exact same knee that Rudy Gobert went into.
We all freaked out about
it. And so he posted this video and just kind of repeated it over and over again. And then he got him with the ribs. And personally, afterwards, when Jokic was getting asked about the whole thing, he apologized and said he shouldn't have done it.
Yeah,
I know he had to say that. I mean, he didn't have to do anything, right? But I'll tell you right now, man, he would have got a lot more games if he wasn't apologetic about it, period. He got one game. Markieff Morris got $50,000 fine, right? But in fact, Shaq and Kenny and Ernie. So Shaq and Kenny and Charles Barkley on TNT were just saying before we got on here tonight. Ernie kind of led with the question of, "Hey, so don't you think Jokic's retaliation was a little bit too much?" And Shaq goes,
No.
and Bull and Chuck and Shaq both just started going like hulking up on the deal, and Shaq goes, I got this, right? And Shaq basically said, you hit me, you better not turn your back, because I'm gonna hit you. Brad Miller is what he said. I don't know if you remember the fight between him and Brad Miller back in the day, right?
Oh yeah.
He says, you turn your back on me, and I'm gonna hit you. I don't care if you turn your back on me. You don't make it about turn your back because you hit me like that. Trust me, we're going blow to blow. That's just what it's going to be, right? And then Chuck jumps in and says the exact same thing. He does the exact same thing. He goes, you hit me.
Person.
And then the best part about the whole thing too is that Chuck is terrible. And then Chuck turns to Kenny. Goes, Kenny is one of the most mild-mannered people I know. And I'm just going to say this: if someone hits you, Kenny, what's happening? He goes, oh, we're going to blows. Kenny goes, oh, we're going to blows. I mean, that's just the way it is. I mean, especially in professional sports, you hit a guy, you better get ready to get hit back. So, first of all, those Morris twins have been involved in
so much
altercations. And they're always doing the cheap shots. I mean, his brother almost took Luka Doncic out last year in the playoffs with a total cheap shot. And so they keep doing that. And I don't know, I must have stayed up till 2 or 3 in the morning just reading every single person's comments on Twitter and Instagram or whatever. 95% of people 100% agree that Jokic is in the right. And they're so glad that one of those Morris twins finally got it. So that's great. But what pissed me off is that ESPN and some of these other things, they said Jokic retaliates with an under the belt hit, blah blah blah. They try to make it about Jokic, and it wasn't about Jokic, right? He didn't start that crap. So it's nice to see that TNT jumped in there.
It is about him because he's the MVP and he's a big star and everyone loves him. But I wanted to see his brothers get involved. That's what I always liked.
Well, so that's what I was. So the timeline is actually funny. So the shot happens. They both get ejected. Nuggets, by the way, I mean, it totally overshadowed an incredible win by the Nuggets. The Miami Heat come in, and I thought there was almost no chance of us winning that game, especially with MPJ that just got hurt. So without Murray, without MPJ, I thought there was no chance. And the Heat come in there, and they lay an egg, and the Nuggets just put it to them. Their defense, right now, the Nuggets have the number one scoring defense in the NBA. And Jokic has the number one defensive rating of any player in the NBA right now. Jokic, the guy who doesn't play defense, has the number one defensive rating of any player in the NBA. He puts up his first triple-double of the year. They absolutely spanked him. And so that's where the foul came from the frustration of getting their ass whooped. But then after all that happens, Jimmy Butler is at the end of the court chirping and yelling and saying, you come down here, you come down here. Jokic is just sitting there. Meanwhile, the brothers, Jokic's brothers, are in the stands. As big as
he is.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Giant.
Actually bigger.
Yeah. And so, anyways, after it's all said and done, you're right, Carlos. The Heat players are photographed standing at the entryway of their locker room, waiting for Jokic to come out, and they want him to walk by so they can all come, and so of course none of that ever comes to pass. And then Marcus Morris, the brother, so the twin brother, tweets out basically a threat to Jokic, like this is duly noted, kind of a thing. The best part though is that Jokic's brother on their Twitter account come back and basically said, just so you know, you publicly threatened our brother and we're going to be there. Like, don't mess. Yeah. Anybody who knows Jokic's brothers,
mess with his brothers.
Oh no! Well,
his
these dudes like have
not that they would kill people. Not that they would kill people. They look like they have. Like they have hidden bodies.
Listen, we sold them all the Range Rovers and Range Rover, and they're big softies. I mean, don't get me wrong, right? I think it's cool these European players, right? They're not afraid of these guys, right?
Yeah.
I mean, these guys come from the hood. These guys have come from civil wars and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Slovenia.
Get a gun. These guys are getting bombs and shit dropped all over the place. You know what I mean?
Genocides.
So I like it. I've never been a fan of the Morris twins. I want to fight them myself. Cheap shot artists, right?
Yeah.
None of those guys would have made it in the 90s, the best era of NBA basketball, because those guys are pussies. So I'm happy to see some retaliation, letting those guys get away with that bullshit. And it needs to happen more, because those guys are trash.
EA Sports.
Yeah,
right?
Marcus went on a Twitter rampage. What's his name? Shannon Sharp tweeted about how he had it coming to him, and Marcus Morris, shut the F up, you drunk son of a bitch.
Yeah, that's what internet tough guys do.
No, I mean it's all it is these internet tough guys. And then there's an Instagram that I follow called Swishline. He has a Twitter account and an Instagram, but he just basically posts NBA news all the time. And he got into a Twitter battle with Marcus Morris, and he basically called the guy. He goes, "You and your brother have been cheap shotting people for years, and you guys finally got what you deserved." And of course, he tweets back "F you" and all this kind of stuff. And then on his account, he posts the screenshots of Marcus Morris's tweets just to show what an internet tough guy punk he is. It was freaking classic. So absolutely,
don't put it in writing,
love
kids. Don't hit send.
But here's some fallout too that I just, for whatever it's worth, because I was up reading these comments forever. Jokic is probably one of the most forgotten, disrespected MVPs ever in the NBA. I mean, he just came out of nowhere, won his MVP. Just forgotten. He's not on the cover of anything. He's no poster boy. He's not on every deal. But I saw more and more people commenting that this is my MVP, right? Like he's one of my new favorite players. Like absolutely, like I'm a huge fan now because he did his thing. He stood up to the guy, and he absolutely leveled that dude, and it was fantastic. And I loved it.
Cheap shot.
The problem is he's not marketable, right? He doesn't run fast. He's just really good at all the shit that he does, but there's nothing about him that's especially outside of Denver, even with the MVP that you're gonna, So he's going to be underrated, right? And when Jamal Murray comes back, he's going to get all the shine because he's flashy and he does things, right? Which is more Sports Center highlight.
He's doing the 360 layups and the up and under doopsie doo. Sure, yeah.
What the Nuggets need to do is never let Michael Porter Jr. come back, take their money back, and get his light-skinned, rice-skinned ass out of the damn building because he sucks. I hate him. I want to fight him. Put him up there with Jameis, Carmelo.
Hey, you guys.
Michael Porter.
You know what, Los?
3 names, too many.
I'm going to try and figure out if there's a way I can get you through this podcast that you can be on the undercard of the Logan Paul Mike Tyson fight with Michael Porter Jr.
Yes.
So Carlos Jones versus
the Frank Gore, Darren Williams card.
It'd be great.
One punch in the back to Michael Porter Jr. I'll be raping his ass in the middle of the ring.
No homo.
All homo.
Oh shit! Never mind. I thought that was a black term. Raping his ass.
He's gonna go, which lets you know too many light skins on the team is bad for you. I hate him. I hope he never comes back.
Oh man. Hey Carlos, if you had to guess if I was an MPJ fan or not, what would you say?
Well, knowing you, probably because something stupid. Listen, you fell in love with Taylor Heineke because he hustled down the field and threw a block.
Recovered a couple.
So you probably like Michael Porter Jr. because he, dove on the ground for
because he's worth.
He's never dove on the ground one time, and therefore, I'm not a big MPJ
therefore
fan.
You are not a fan.
Oh shit!
No. The thing is that he is an incredible shooter of the ball before this year began.
Nope, he sucks. His best
Once he gets paid is
okay. Hold on. I'm talking about shooting, Carlos. Only him, and Steph Curry. Only him and Steph Curry and Klay Thompson have shot over 43% for their first 3 years in the NBA from three.
Yeah, well, he's only played 6 games in the NBA. Listen, he is trash. Okay, that's the problem with the Nuggets. Too many light skins, not enough dark, ugly guys like Will Barton. Okay,
$200 million is a lot to pay for that dude.
I don't know why they paid it. They're stupid. just the dumbest shit I've ever
It's going
seen.
to end up being 170 at this rate because a lot of them are him making first and second, third team All NBA teams and stuff. So
I'm
sure.
only 170.
Well, I'm just telling you,
worth every
I'd like to save that $45 million. I'll tell you that right now.
Yep.
I'm sure his shooting is
I like
down
him as an
because
offensive
of
player.
the
I will
Wilson
say
ball.
I like him as an offensive player, but he plays small. For a guy who's 6'10", he plays small.
Jamal Murray's out. Why has he not taken over?
Well,
Because he sucks.
Exactly. Like he plays small. He's
I'll play devil's advocate with you. I'll play devil's advocate with you. The fact is that once Jamal went out, he averaged 25 points a game. Right at the end of the season, he was playing great ball. He was finally healthy. He hurt his back at some point in the preseason. He's been sucking all year. All of his shooting stats are off. Everything's bad. The problem is that you paid a guy that gets hurt and is going to be hurt and will probably always be hurt. And he's just never going to get right. They took a risk on him. They shouldn't have signed him to that gigantic deal. I think it was a big mistake. But, I mean, he's an upside guy.
Murray's out.
You know?
They needed something.
I mean,
Murray's luckily going to get hurt too.
Trade him to the LA Sparks.
Murray's not going anywhere. Wow. The LA Sparks. I love it. All unvaccinated team.
That's right.
All right.
That's right. Hey,
any other football?
Yeah, no. I want to go back to a couple things here real quick, and then we'll wrap up. So,
Cowboys. Should we talk about the
Anything to make
Cowboys
Wyatt
more?
feel good? Any football game that made Wyatt feel bad about himself?
Oh no, we're gonna talk. We're gonna talk about these
all
Broncos.
this talk about metrics and going for it on fourth and all that bullshit, and then the Cowboys do it and they get stopped. It sucked.
Oh yeah. So let's talk about this Bronco Dallas game. I just went and dug into some stats and found some stuff, but before we even talk about that stuff, Wyatt, do you think that's what it was? Do you think it was just the third and fourth down conversion rates, or was it something else?
I don't know. Dak didn't look great. He didn't look like he looked the first 7 weeks or 6 weeks that he played. I don't know. Pollard looked great on special teams and the one bad interception and 2 bad fourth downs, and Denver's gelling a little bit. I mean, their best receivers back. I didn't watch much of it. I was sad. I watched Red Zone channel and there wasn't much Red Zone going on.
That makes me so happy.
Yeah, go Broncos.
We're so sad.
Carlos, you love the Broncos, right?
Oh, here we go. All right, Carlos, just say what you're going to say, Carlos.
It's okay. Let's let Carlos get this up. How great was this victory
all over our parade before you just
no. Nate and I will finish. But
okay, you go, Carlos.
How great was this victory?
Yeah. How great was it?
Listen, I fucking hate Dallas, so I was happy to see this fucking happen. There was I hate Dallas. So I'm a Raider fan, but I'm also a big Eagle fan, right? And Dallas has been back in the Randall Cunningham.
How do you have like 5 teams? Ravens, Browns.
I'm loyal to no man unless they got a black quarterback.
Quarterback, unless there's 2 of them.
Randall Cunningham was running around. Detroit and all those drug dealing Cowboys were just beating the crap out of him in the 90s. So I've always hated the Cowboys. So when these Broncos, who I had losing 45-13, came in there, I think it was just your typical case of taking the point, overlooking the opponent, right? Just thinking they could just walk in and just dominate. And they ran into a buzzsaw. What was nice is that the Broncos ran the freaking ball. Holy shit. You run the ball and all of a sudden things started, you can score points. So hopefully they don't forget that because that's been screaming. I mean, being that I hate the Broncos, they're a talented team, right? They're a talented roster. They should be way better than they are. You need to give those running backs more than 5-10 carries a game. They actually ran the freaking ball and they dominated. They should have been doing it all year.
Gives me shiver.
Yeah,
hey, I'll
you go.
That's dead on. Dead on. It's Sherman that's been making this offense shitty. It's not the players. It's Sherman. I'm just telling you. My favorite stat that I heard this week, Nate, is Javonte Williams has a 37% broken tackle rate.
Yep.
37%.
Nobody
else. Hold on. Number one in the league. Nobody else is over 30, and that includes Derrick Henry. 37%. Nobody else is over 30. Give the guy the ball. Just give him the ball.
Please,
and Gordon's looked really good. He hasn't looked as good as Javonte, but he's looked really good. Just give the guy the ball.
Yeah, I mean, Javonte had another one of those holy crap. He had like 3 of them, but like one in particular, holy crap runs. Had 3 guys hanging on him. What's that?
Their running game can look like Cleveland's when healthy if they would just run the freaking ball.
Yeah, I agree.
I was watching that game. Baker at one point, I think it was in the third quarter, only threw the ball like 11 times.
Yeah.
Right. And still had 100-something yards, a couple touchdowns, and they just run the freaking ball. And Gordon is good. I don't understand what the problem is. Gordon is good. The rookie is amazing. They should be controlling the ball, pounding the rock. Yeah. Javonte is going to give you 2 or 3 of those runs a game if you just give them the freaking ball, let them get a rhythm. And it takes the off of Teddy. And, it's just the game plan is there. They have the talent. Shermer just needs to run the ball.
Let's see if they learned a lesson, because Philadelphia is like bottom 2 or 3 in the league against running backs. Holy crap. If they don't take that momentum and just build on it this coming week, then I don't know.
No, I agreed. Yeah. Javonte rushes 17 times for 111 with a 6.5 yard average. I mean, just beastly average. Melvin, 21 carries for 80 yards and a touchdown. Tim Patrick only had 4 catches, but all 4 of them were spectacular. Like, he had 2 of them to get first downs that were just, he caught it behind the sticks and just made the right move, just one cut straight up the gut, north and south. And he's big, and he's a great possession. He's got incredible hands, obviously.
We're going to have a tough decision to make between him and Cortland Sutton.
Yeah.
Because we're not going to be able to keep 2 of them.
Get rid of Cortland's bitch ass. He sucks. He's trash. But keep trying to throw the deep balls, the jump balls.
Yeah, we're going to make an all-star team.
Hey, Wyatt, you okay, buddy?
Trash.
No, I'm sorry, guys. Sorry.
Where's the goal?
I try to watch these
Broncos.
Wyatt's crying.
They try to throw that shit to Cortland. I can cover Cortland. He's trash. He sucks. Get rid of his ass. Give the contract to Tim Patrick, and bring back Hamler if he can stay healthy, and Judy.
Yeah.
But they need to move on from Cortland.
Yeah. Well, the time of possession of this game was 41 minutes to 18 minutes. I mean, if you were a Dallas fan, that's just one of those games you absolutely can't stand to watch, because it's just like, are we ever going to get our defense off of the field, Yeah,
and then people went to that game. They said it was just a quiet-ass stadium. It was hilarious.
The Broncos fans were so loud. They were so loud. There was videos.
There were only 9 of them, though.
There are a lot more than that, bro. Did you not see that? Oh, my gosh, bro.
The Cowboys fans travel, though. They're everywhere. They're like a pariah on the NFL.
And then the 3rd and 4th down stops, Dub, you're absolutely right. I went back and watched that. There were so many 3rd down stops and 4th down stops, and forcing them into punts or bad field position. And then I thought the play of the game personally was the blocked punt
that got advanced.
Got touched after the line of scrimmage by Dallas, and then we ended up just marching it down the field.
Change the taunting rule and change that rule. They should have to advance it to the first down. It's not a muffed punt.
Yeah, well,
it was pretty dumb.
No, if you're a Dallas fan, that was the dumbest rule ever, because that sucked. I mean, that definitely was tough. One other thing, I just want to talk real quick about this Kansas City Green Bay game real quick. Patrick Mahomes throws 37 times, for 20 completions, for 166 yards. I mean, that is really bad. I mean, is this the Packers' great defense? I mean, it seems like for the last 6 weeks, Mahomes has looked like a shell of himself.
It's not earning that $500 million, that's for sure.
If someone offered me Mahomes, I would give up a lot to get him. If you have Mahomes right now, do you think about maybe trying to stream a quarterback and pick up just an absolute beast of a running back?
I just don't know who you get right now. I don't honestly know who you're going to get right now. I think Mahomes still has big games in him the rest of the year. I think they figure this out somewhere. They've been winning. They beat the Giants looking shitty. They beat
5
Washington
wins.
looking shitty.
The whole
They
division
beat
has
Green
5
Bay
wins.
looking shitty.
Yep.
Thank goodness Aaron Rodgers wasn't there for them. But he's going to have big games. They're going to get it right, I think. Yeah. But right now, I don't know what you're going to get for the guy.
Yeah, no, it's true. It's true. What do you think? You think they're going to figure it out, Carlos, or is this just going to be the rest of the year?
They're gonna win the division. The problem is that all those interceptions got him a little gun shy. So he's doing, he's not the gunslinger we're used to, right? And he's just trying to methodically just move the ball down the field. He's going to get it right. He's got to play my Raiders twice. We're going to get him back on track. He's got to play these Broncos. He's fine. Listen, I'd still take him over pretty much anyone. You know, it's just a matter of time. He gave the AFC West time to try to get a little lead. You know what I mean? That they've squandered.
Yep.
Yeah, they don't have a lead. They're all 5-win teams.
It is.
It's gonna be Kansas City at the end of the day. This just is what it is.
Yeah, I don't know about you guys, but I'm loving this extra game and just sort of that extra question mark it throws into not just real football, but fantasy football as well, and like just some of the extra wrinkles of that and what that extra game might do towards being healthy. I think is at an all-time premium, coming down the stretch into that kind of stuff. But one of the things that I wanted to be just a funny thing, I'm sure you guys all saw this, the Josh Allen on Josh Allen thing. Did you guys see that?
Yeah, alternate universes.
Yeah, pretty fun. Yeah, so Josh Allen, were they both 7th overall picks in the first round?
Both 7 picks.
So they're both named Josh Allen
in back-to-back drafts.
Yep, 18 and 19, right?
It's a glitch in the matrix.
18 and 19.
Really is.
Yeah, and it was the first time. So when Josh Allen sacked Josh Allen, it was the first time in NFL history a guy with the same name sacked the same name quarterback. And then not only that, then he ends up intercepting him and gets a fumble recovery off the guy as well. It was kind of fun. It was kind of fun. But what in the hell? How does Jacksonville beat Buffalo in that game? I mean, first of all, I don't know how the Broncos – I mean, we know how the Broncos won. I mean, but we just talked about it. But how in the heck did Buffalo lose this football game?
The fix is in. That's how they won.
Yeah. Gambling.
I like
it's
it.
All gambling.
I like it.
No, you can't score. You can't score.
So the whole team decided we're going to suck. All the men on that football team decided, you know what? We are going to just I know I just signed a $250 million contract, but I could use that 10 grand from Vinny the Mouth. And I'm gonna just drop the ball here.
Otherwise, that Balboa guy says he's gonna break my thumbs.
Exactly. Here's what it is. Here's what we learned this weekend because everything went crazy. Up was down, black was white.
Yeah, Jets
Carlos
winning,
like
Jacksonville winning.
It was crazy.
Oh, so that did not happen.
Bizarro world.
It was bizarro world. So we just learned that the difference, the true talent difference in the NFL at that level, the worst guy on the worst team was a bad motherfucker at probably a Division I school. Yeah. And you just don't know. You can't take it lightly. Like Wyatt said, somebody, or Carlos, I think you said about the Broncos.
If it was a good point, I said it.
Then it wasn't a good point.
The white man taking the brothers.
They just overlook. I think sometimes these guys overlook because they start buying their own hype, and those fuckers are pros too, and you'll get buzzsawed sometimes if you don't have your A game.
Yeah. Well, speaking of upside down, I was looking at this Cleveland Cincinnati game, and it was the most upside down game ever. Cincinnati won in time of possession, 35 minutes to 24 minutes. They had 25 first downs. Cincinnati had 25 first downs. Cleveland had 14 first downs the entire game versus 25. Cincinnati ran 70 plays. Cleveland only ran 46. They almost doubled. It's like 30 more plays.
Yeah, if you told me just that stuff, I would have thought Cincinnati dominated.
Yeah, passing yards, Cincinnati 263, Cleveland only 208. Right? Penalties. Here's another thing that decides football games all the time. Penalties, right? Cincinnati 4 penalties for 31 yards. Cleveland 10 penalties for 84 yards. I mean, how in the heck? I mean, and Cleveland stomps them 41-16.
It was
I mean,
very simple. I was watching the game. You got a 70-yard run, right?
Mhm.
You've got a what was it? I think it's a
100-yard pick
Pick
six.
six.
Yep.
99-yard interception return, and then Baker had the deep pass as well, right? So
Yeah, to
I
Peoples.
mean,
He had a chip on his shoulder, didn't he,
you got
Baker?
big plays. It takes away, excuse the numbers, right? I mean, this is back in the good old days when the Buffalo Bills were the Bills, rolling. I mean, I think they only had the ball, I want to say 20, 25 minutes a game. They score a shit ton of points and they get off the damn field. I mean, even the Super Bowl, they lost to the Giants. They only had the ball for 19 minutes, but it still took a last second field goal to win the game. So, stats are, not always, they don't always tell the story. I mean, Jameis Winston threw for 5,000 plus yards. Right?
Preach.
But he also threw.
So he's great. Good night, everybody. That was another good week.
Well, that's what's so fun
Just
about
kidding.
fantasy football is, I mean, you're not always picking the winners and losers. You're just trying to pick that Chubb, a touchdown.
Yeah.
You get that 90-yard, 15-point play. That's so fun.
Yeah.
Football's been a great distraction.
I'll tell you what, man, that Nick Chubb, every week I want to talk about this guy. I have a man crush on this dude's ability to run football. I mean, he is
I've been
an
in love with
absolute
him
beast.
since college. He's been a monster in college. It's translated to the NFL. Well, for Derrick Henry, we'd be talking about him as one of the best, on a Hall of Fame type of trajectory for a running back.
Agreed.
Yeah,
We're
Jonathan
gonna miss
Taylor
him
looks
this week.
really good.
Looks like he's gonna
Nick
be out.
Chubb looks good.
Maybe.
Yep. Javante looks really good. I'm going to throw him in there. I got to do it. My boy,
Jonathan Taylor, man, MVP.
Jonathan Taylor looks
Yeah.
fantastic. Yeah,
Jonathan
he looks
Taylor
Don't forget
right
about Taylor Heineke. He looks
JT
like
23.
Don't forget about Taylor.
Hey, one thought too. Derek, during the draft, you were so cracked that Kyler Murray got picked ahead of Lamar. But I'm going to say right now, I think you've won that. I think you've won that pick.
Yeah. No, big ups to Feldman. Thank you so much for making me so angry at the fantasy football draft. In both my big fantasy football drafts, I was very upset that Kyler Murray went right before me. He was the guy I was targeting early. Yeah. And so I settled for Lamar. And it was a pretty good settle.
He's looking pretty dang good.
You never
man.
know.
He's looking pretty special. All right, well, I think that's all we have for this week, guys. So once again, if you're listening in, thanks a lot, and subscribe, hit like, all those things. We'll have a short little ditty later on this week. But Sexiest Men out. We'll see you guys next week.
All right.
Bye.
Where are the white women at?
Who dat?